Have you ever noticed that your greatest transformations never came from your easiest days? That the person you are most proud of becoming was forged not in comfort, but in the fire of struggle? There's a hidden architecture to suffering that most people never see. And today, I want to show you why the universe wraps its most precious gifts in the paper of pain. Before we go deeper, if this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe. And I want to hear your story in the comments. Tell me about a time when pain became your greatest teacher. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. Let me tell you about a man named Viktor Frankl. In 1942, he was stripped of everything: his family, his freedom, his life's work. Thrown into Auschwitz, surrounded by unimaginable horror, he faced a question that would change psychology forever. Why do some people survive hell while others, despite being physically stronger, simply give up? What he discovered wasn't just about survival. It was about the hidden mechanism through which suffering transforms into meaning. Frankl noticed that those who endured had something the others didn't. Not more strength, not more luck, but a different relationship with their pain. They had found, or created, a reason that made the suffering worthwhile. They saw their pain not as punishment, but as a bridge to something essential. And here's what neuroscience now confirms. Frankl was right. Your brain doesn't distinguish between physical and emotional pain. Both activate the same neural pathways, the anterior cingulate cortex and the insula. But here's the fascinating part that Andrew Huberman's research illuminates. When you assign meaning to that pain, when you contextualize it within a larger purpose, your prefrontal cortex activates and literally modulates the pain signal. Meaning doesn't just make pain bearable, it neurologically transforms the experience itself. The universe isn't hiding gifts in pain to torture you. It's encoded a fundamental truth into your nervous system. Struggle with purpose rewires your brain in ways that comfort never can. When you're in pain and you find a reason for it, you're not just enduring. You're literally building new neural architecture. You're becoming someone new. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years studying the most successful people of his era, and he found something that contradicted everything people wanted to believe. Every single person who achieved something extraordinary had faced what he called temporary defeat, and often catastrophic failure. But the ones who broke through shared a specific trait. They refused to see their struggles as endpoints. They had developed what Hill called definiteness of purpose, a burning reason that transformed obstacles into stepping stones. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before the light bulb worked, but he never saw those as failures. He saw them as 10,000 lessons the universe was teaching him about what doesn't work, essential knowledge that brought him closer to what does. The pain of repeated failure wasn't blocking his path. It was paving it. Now let's add another layer that most people miss entirely. Neville Goddard taught something radical. Your imagination is not fantasy. It's the workshop where reality is constructed. But here's what he emphasized that changes everything. Transformation requires a death. Not a physical death, but the death of who you were. And death, even symbolic death, involves pain. When you're suffering, when life is stripping away what you thought you needed, something profound is happening in the invisible realm. You're being emptied so you can be filled with something greater. Goddard would say that pain is often the hammer that breaks the mold of your old self-concept, the limited version of you that could never hold the magnitude of what you're becoming. If you're still with me, take a second to like this video and drop a comment about what old version of yourself is dying right now. What are you being emptied of? Share it. There's power in naming the transformation. Here's a truth that will shift everything. The universe doesn't send pain randomly. It sends precisely calibrated challenges that match the magnitude of your next evolution. Think about it. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly through comfort. It enters a chrysalis where its entire body literally dissolves. Its organs, its structure, everything. For days, it exists as nothing but cellular soup. That's not punishment. That's metamorphosis. Your pain is your chrysalis. And just like the caterpillar, you cannot rush this process. The struggle to break free is what builds the strength needed to fly. If someone cuts open the chrysalis to help, the butterfly emerges with weak wings and dies. The resistance, the pressure, the pain of breaking through, that's not cruelty. That's how strength is transferred. Let me tell you about Sarah. She lost her job, her relationship, and her apartment all within 3 months. She spent nights on her friend's couch, crying, wondering why God had abandoned her. But she had always loved writing, something she'd buried under practical career choices. With nothing left to lose, she started writing every morning. The pain had stripped away every excuse, every distraction, every false identity. 2 years later, her book was published. It helped thousands of people navigate their own dark nights. She told me something I'll never forget. I didn't find my purpose despite the pain. The pain was the scalpel that cut away everything that wasn't my purpose. The universe didn't hide her gift in pain to be cruel. It hid it there because she would never have dug that deep in comfort. Huberman's research on stress and performance reveals something extraordinary. Acute stress, when properly contextualized, enhances learning and neuroplasticity. When you're under pressure and you lean into it rather than avoiding it, your brain releases a cocktail of neurochemicals, norepinephrine, dopamine, cortisol, that literally opens the window for accelerated learning and adaptation. But here's the key. This only works when you don't catastrophize the stress, when you reframe it as challenge rather than threat. This is why Frankl's meaning-making is so powerful neurologically. When you say, "This pain is teaching me something essential," you shift from threat mode to challenge mode. Your brain stops trying to escape and starts trying to learn. The pain becomes productive. Hill would add this practical dimension. Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. But seeds don't reveal themselves immediately. They require burial in dark soil. They require time, pressure, and patience. Most people, when they hit pain, immediately try to escape it, numb it, or curse it. They never stay present long enough to find the seed. The gift is always there, but it's wrapped in layers that only sustained presence can unwrap. This is why suffering without awareness creates bitterness, but suffering with awareness creates wisdom. Goddard would take you even deeper. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even while circumstances contradict it. Especially while circumstances contradict it. Why? Because imagination is the bridge between your current reality and your desired reality. When you're in pain, but you persistently imagine, not fantasize, but feelingly imagine, the person you're becoming through this, you're not denying the pain. You're directing the transformation. You're saying to the universe, "I know this is the chrysalis. I know this is the forge, and I'm using this pressure to become who I'm imagining." That's not delusion. That's collaboration with the hidden process. I want you to pause right now and do something. Think of the hardest thing you're facing. Now ask yourself, what quality am I being forced to develop because of this? Patience, courage, self-reliance, faith? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's see what the universe is forging in each of us. Here's what changes everything. When you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this making possible?" you shift from victim to co-creator. Frankl survived Auschwitz not because he was lucky, but because he chose to see his suffering as meaningful. He was learning something about human resilience that he could teach the world. And he did. His book, Man's Search for Meaning, has transformed millions of lives. His pain became his platform. Hill studied failure after failure until he extracted the principles of success that built empires. His struggles became his curriculum. Goddard taught that every limitation you face is an invitation to expand your self-concept, to imagine beyond what seems possible. Your constraints are actually the canvas. The universe hides its gifts in pain because comfort never demands that you grow. Comfort lets you stay small, stay safe, stay the same. But you weren't designed for sameness. You were designed for metamorphosis. And metamorphosis requires the destruction of what was, so that what's meant to be can emerge. Your pain is not evidence that you're broken. It's evidence that you're breaking through. Every great story, every transformation worth telling, involves a descent before the ascent. The hero must enter the cave, face the dragon, nearly die, and return transformed. You're not being punished. You're being initiated. So here's my challenge to you. Stop running from your pain. Stop numbing it. Stop pretending it's not there. Instead, sit with it. Ask it what it's teaching you. Find the seed Hill promised is there. Assign it the meaning Frankl knew would transform it. Imagine through it the way Goddard taught. Use it to build the neural pathways Huberman knows are forming. Your suffering is not random. It's precise. It's personal. It's purposeful. The universe is not hiding gifts from you. It's hiding them for you. In the one place you'll dig. Deep enough to find them. In the place where you have no choice but to become someone new. If this video shifted something in you, don't just watch and leave. Like it. Share it with someone who needs this message. And subscribe because we're going deeper every single time. And tell me in the comments, what gift are you starting to see in your pain? Let's build this community of people who refuse to waste their suffering. I'll see you in the next one.